Hey guys, good afternoon. Happy Saturday to you. This is Kim, your independent designer with Chalk Couture and Chalk is Chic. Happy Saturday, my friends. It is officially the weekend, and I actually had an unexpected break from our virtual ChalkCon that we have going on this weekend. So I decided to go ahead and go live for y'all because I had a break and it would make it a little bit easier. I'm going to go ahead and spray my board because we're going to be reusing this. We are still doing Christmas in July. And what that means is we're doing old Christmas transfers or winter kind of transfers that are retired, unfortunately. So it's not one that I can get my hands on. I can always make you something if you want something. But I can't get my hands on it. It is retired. But the cool thing is we got the link and I posted it here on our page yesterday with a quick video of all of the amazing, crazy transfers that are coming our way July the 15th. So we have a brand new catalog that launches July the 15th. It is super fantastic. If you have not had a chance to look at that yet, just take a quick glance at it because it is absolutely inspirational. But the one we're going to do today is probably one of my favorites from last season. It is one that I loved. I got multiple copies of just because it is one of those that I knew that I was going to love and reuse a lot. It is also wintry, so it's not just about Christmas. It is kind of the winter, but I am using our board scraper. This one is a little bit different just because we had all those little chalk markers on here. But never fear, my friends, we are going to get that off. Hey, Mel. Hey, Kim. So we are just going to get this cleaned off really quick and start with our board. So we're going to be working on Ice Skate Rental. That's the transfer we're going to work on today. Now, one of my favorite things to do is to create some buffalo plaid ice skates. Super cute, super easy to do. It just takes a little bit of time. It doesn't take much though. It's very, very fun to do. I'm just trying to get my board cleaned off because that was a lot of paste. Quite a bit of paste. But I hope y'all are doing great. We had a long, wonderful day of our virtual ChalkCon yesterday. Today is all business classes, and one of them got pushed to a recording. So I am enjoying our little break that we're getting right now. So we're going to chalk and have fun and enjoy. So we are just cleaning off our board. This is our Sylvie 9x12 board. It is our boutique surface, so it is reusable over and over and over and over and over again until your heart's content. I've had this one since it released last July. And I mean, you can tell, in person I can tell on the frame a little bit where I've gotten chalk paste on the frame and haven't cleaned it up right away, but it's not horrible, and I can reuse the surface over and over again. This is my demo board. So we're going to be using Ice Skate Rental. It is one of my favorites. I absolutely love this transfer. Like I said, I got multiple copies of it last year because I knew I was going to use the heck out of it, and this one has been used a lot, so you're not going to see me fuzz. We are just going to go ahead and get started. We are going to be working with multiple chalk paste colors though, so you are going to see lots of chalk pulling. And all that means is we're going to have a crazy, wonderful design when all this is over. It's no big deal. It's one of those things that we do quite frequently around here. I like to use a ton of different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and get some colors stirred up. You're going to see and notice that I'm using pretty muted colors compared to some bright, starky, contrasty colors. We're going to be using some pretty muted colors. So I am getting some chalk paste stirred up. The first one I'm stirring up is Eucalyptus. We are going to utilize Marvelous. We used that yesterday, but we're going to go ahead and make sure that that is good and ready. And let's see what else we have. I'm going to use Morning Sky. Now, Morning Sky is going away. It I was sad about it going away until I saw the catalog last night. We have some amazing chalk paste colors coming our direction, so I'm just not going to be sad about it anymore. No point in crying over spilled milk, right? So I'm going to be excited because we have a ton, an absolute ton of gorgeous stuff coming our direction. Y'all, the colors are crazy. There's one that I cannot wait to get to show y'all in person. It's called Camel. And if y'all remember the iced coffee that I had a love with that taupey kind of brown color, it is, the Camel just is so gorgeous. I haven't seen it in person, but what I've seen in the catalog, it's just phenomenal. Like I said, you'll see the little quick video here on my page. You're welcome to look at that and see all the new transfers. It is exciting. Some of the ones that we have that come back at Christmas time, they come back after being paused. So some of them you'll see that we had from last year, which is great. This is not one of them though. We'll start this week as we finish out our Christmas in July with some of the ones that are in the catalog that are coming back and available July the 15th. So let's get started, shall we? We are going to work first with our ice skates at the top and get this chalk. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of chalk pulling, a lot of chalk pull method, and we are just going to have fun. So we are going to get done with ice skates first. We're going to use Marvelous for this one. And like I said, I'm using pretty muted colors on purpose. I want this kind of vintagey looking. That is my goal in all of this. But if you happen to go over, because I did not use placement tape for this top line, we can fix it because I think I got a little bit on there. We'll see once we get this pulled up. But like I said, we're going to be doing a ton of chalk pulling. This is a retired transfer, one of my favorites. But as we get started with this week, we will be looking at transfers that were part of our Christmas last year that are coming back as a staple item. And there you can see where I went over. But I'm going to show you really quick how you can fix it, because it is not a big deal. We'll get that pulled off completely. So anytime you're working and if you go over or do something crazy, which if you've watched my lives long enough, you know that that is quite humanly possible. This little line is just super, super close to our letters, and it is okay if you get stuff on there because we can clean it off super quick. So all I'm going to do is take some water and spray it. I'm going to take my wipe and just wipe that little area. So here's the kicker, guys. You cannot put a wet transfer back down on your transfer. Hey, Maggie. On your board, because if you do, you are going to mess up what you just chalked. So all you want to do is just go back over your transfer, dry it off. Now I have a dedicated fuzzing towel that helps keep my other fuzzing towels clean. So I have one that's dedicated to getting nasty, if you will, and that's the one I use whenever I'm cleaning it. You can see it's all gross, but it's just from chalk paste from cleaning. That's all it is. But I use the same fuzzing towel to do all of my cleaning. So once you get your transfer cleaned off from that little oops accident, which is quite all right, it happens, you are basically going to set yourself up to start chalking again. But we got to take care of our little stuff where we went over. So I use a popsicle stick. This is how I correct those boo-boos. This is dry chalk paste, so I just knock it off with the popsicle stick. I don't use water unless I absolutely need to in that area, because if you're going to get water near it or get, wet near your chalk paste, you're going to take a chance of pulling stuff off. So I, in particular, do not use water unless I absolutely need to. Most of the time you can knock it off and then you can buff it using a fuzzing towel. So instead of working on that up there at the top, I'm just going to line it up and I'm going to keep working down here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and chalk my ice skates. The reason I'm going to do that is because we are going to use Buffalo Check, so we want to make sure that they have plenty of time to dry. Now, I will tell you, we could get all fancy and stuff with our skates if we wanted to, or we can keep it simple. I am going to keep it simple just for simplicity purposes and showing you how you can manage this with just a few chalk paste colors and not having to have a whole rainbow of colors. But I am putting placement tape down so I don't have to worry about getting frisky when I chalk, because y'all know how I do. I get super happy and I just chalk until there's no tomorrow. So we're going to be using Morning Sky. Remember, this is a paste color that is disappearing. And I would say that I was sad, but guys, after seeing the catalog last night, I'm just going to tell you I'm not sad. We have so many beautiful colors coming our direction. And the transfers, we have 90 transfers coming out July the 15th. And one other thing that I'm super excited for, and as customers, I think you'll be excited too, is we're going to start getting our Club Coutures early. So if you are not a current Club Couture member, you're going to be able to see what the design is before the month starts and decide if you want to join before the month is there for that club, which is, to me, very great because it gives you an option to start without having to invest in the shipping part. So let's get our skates dry. Again, this is one of my favorite transfers from last year. Super phenomenal. It is just one of those, it makes you feel good. It makes, and I'm not a good ice skater, guys, by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I can roller skate, but I'm one of those people that will be sore for days after. I'm not an ice skater. I love it. I'm just not great at it. I think it would have made a difference, like if I was raised around an area where ice skating was popular. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, just in an effort to hurry this part along, which we're not in any big hurry because I have plenty of time, but I am going to need to reuse these skates. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, just so it has plenty of time and I'm not stressed out about it, is I'm going to pull back out this cleaning fuzzing towel again. Let's take off this placement tape. Now the reason I'm cleaning is because we're going to do Buffalo Check. That's the only reason I'm cleaning, guys. I could probably potentially reuse it, but because I'm going to be doing a different color, I'm going to go ahead and just clean it off. It just makes life a lot easier. And so this way I can clean it, I can dry my transfer, and then by the time I get ready to use it, I know for sure it's way beyond dry. So that's one of the reasons why I'm cleaning it now versus waiting. And again, anytime I'm using a baby wipe or using a wipe over here to the side, it is just a water wipe. It is not got any chemicals in it. I use just the plain old wipes with water. Alright, so we're drying our little ice skates. Again, this is a duplicatable process. It's something that you could personally do at home without any issues at all. I promise. But we're doing that so our stuff gets dry and we don't have to fret about it. So I'm going to hold that up so you can see it. But that's our silk screen. That's how quick and easy it dried. And we are going to go back to that in just a few minutes. We're not going to fret about it right now. I'm going to get some other things done first. And let's start by getting our lines chalked up here. And again, we don't have to worry about pushing on everything, but where we are chalking. Okay? So I'm going to start by doing the lines up here. We do have quite a few things that are really super close. The ones that are super close, you can go ahead and use that placement tape on, cover it up. If you want to use placement tape right here, you can. We don't really have to, but in an effort just to show y'all how easy it is, we'll just put a piece right there and a piece across our other scape. Everything else is pretty far away, but I will go ahead and put one over here to the side just to keep everything happy. All right, so I'm going to use my multi-tool next for this part because we're going to start with the line up at the top. We're going to use bright white. And again, doesn't really matter if your stuff is lined up perfect. You do want to make sure it's kind of sort of perfect. But again, if something were to happen and it wasn't lined up absolutely perfect and it was off a smidgen, you're not really going to be able to tell. So we're going to take our white, bright white, and use our multi-tool and just go to town with these lines. Now, I will tell you, you're not going to want to chalk the first line and then chalk again on the second line because the line is super duper thin, so it's going to dry really quickly. I personally do the chalk pull, especially if you're new to chalk. I do the chalk pull method because there's nothing wrong with doing a chalk pull method and then laying back down that transfer. But if you're working kind of at a slower pace and then you keep on chalking, that white chalk paste is kind of notorious for drying. So I always will do a quick pull and then go to my next line. Now you're going to see designers do all kinds of different things. I prefer to dry between lines. The reason is because I always inevitably find wet chalk paste. Kim always finds wet chalk paste. No matter where it is, I always find it. Hey Dale, how are you? So we are just giving this a quick dry. Again, this is one of the ones that are from Christmas last year, but we have a ton of gorgeous new designs that's coming out July the 15th. And I could not be happier. Super excited to see them in person. So I'm going to get this one pushed down. Again, we're not stressing out about up top. I'm just worried about this one down here at the bottom. So we are going to go ahead and squeegee on and squeegee off this little section. And if you get too much paste, you can always wipe it back in your jar. So there's that little bitty section of white. Now, I'm not going to dry here, but I'm just going to lift and let it fall back down. Just because that's a little bitty area. So again, we're using our multi-tool. I love this one. It is just, it lets you be kind of more in control of chalking because it works much like a pencil. And it is just super easy to work with. So this is where that placement tape comes in handy because I'm not having to fret about being up against my design here where my skates are. And I can just chalk and not have any stress from it. Okay, so let's go ahead and give a chalk pull. Again, I prefer to dry between mine. That's just me. That's how I roll. Everybody is different. I just find it to be a lot easier to pull it up, dry it, put my project back down. So, we're going to move on to a couple of things. I'm going to stay away from this part right here for just a matter of a few moments while that part up there is drying. I'm going to work down here for just a second and do my couple of other things that are white. So I'm going to do All Day Rental in white. And again, we're just squeegeeing on, squeegeeing off. You can complete this with a slightly bigger squeegee. I was just using one I had done. But for this little 25-cent one, we'll go ahead and work with our mini squeegee. Makes it a little bit easier. So squeegee on, squeegee off. We'll give it a chalk pull. Because again, you don't want to leave something to dry. Basically, if it dries on top of your transfer and you pull that transfer up, it's going to pull up your design. So super duper cute. And I have worn this one plumb out, this transfer. I used it a lot last year because it's so darling. So all I care about is right here, getting this little area pushed down. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and cover this chalk paste up because we are done with bright white. And I'm just pulling all the colors in together. So we're going to go ahead and pull our Mauvelous down here at the bottom. And again, you just want to squeegee on and squeegee off. And you can use as much or as little chalk paste as you want to as far as colors are concerned. Hey, Nicole. I personally like a lot of color, but let me just tell you, you can do this in one color and be as effective. Now, is it super detailed and stuff? No, but the design would still be cute. And sometimes, depending on your surface, you don't need a lot of color. You may just need one color, one design that's beautiful, and you can present it in that manner as well. But this is one from last year. Our new transfers come out July the 15th. I could not be more excited about them because I got to see that catalog last night. If you haven't seen the video here, just check it out on the page. Super adorable though. And we're almost to the buffalo check part. So the buffalo check is going to be one of my favorite things to do. I almost wish we had a smaller buffalo check just because it's so super cute whenever we do the ice skates like that. We're going to work first with our little figs, I guess, or twigs. I don't know what you would call them. I always stumble on what to call those things. But we're going to work with that one first and complete that little portion. I'm just getting our placement tape taken off. Now, a placement tape is like washi tape. So if you don't have washi tape or placement tape, don't use painter's tape. That will ruin your transfer in a heartbeat. But one of the reasons why we stayed away from this one initially is because we had some wet paste up here. And in an effort to not mix our colors together, I worked away from it. I let it dry. Then I go back up top and I work in that area that I want to be in. So you can do that however you want to. That's just how I approach it, just because it makes life a little bit easier. We're using eucalyptus for these cute little twigs. Again, we're keeping all of our colors pretty muted, not very bright, just so it adds more of a kind of vintagey feel for this transfer, because I feel like it's extremely vintage if you look at the details of it. And nowhere that I know of that you can skate for 25 cents. So we're going to say it's super vintage. That's like old school pricing. Okay, so we're squeegeeing on, squeegeeing off. Again, we're going to let all this area over here dry. So I'm going to pull that back. Look at all those three colors together. Is that not gorgeous, guys? And again, this is all just kind of those muted vintagey colors that are super pretty together. Mauvelous is one of our core colors. Of course, Morning Sky is going away. And Eucalyptus is also one of our core colors. So we're going to let that fall back down. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Just utilizing that Eucalyptus gorgeous color chalk paste. I mean, it's extremely beautiful. When you combine these colors and these soft tones together, they are just impeccable. Love them. Alright, so we're squeegeeing on, squeegeeing off. That white paste is dry, which is one of the reasons why we kind of skipped over it. Okay, so let's pull that up. Super cute. And we are to the point of our buffalo check. I'm not sure what's going on, Dale. Hopefully maybe you can hop off and hop back on. See if that fixes it. Sometimes the internet is finicky, but I'm still live on my end. Don't know what's going on. All right, so let's get our last little piece. Now, this is one thing that I love to do is layering. Sometimes layering can be not fun. Sometimes it can be great and fun. But we don't want to paint or use paste on our skates. We want to, on our skate blades. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this up, the part that's the blade. Because I know that I don't want any chalking to happen on that. I just want the buffalo check to be up there. So in an effort to make sure that that happens, I am just covering up where the blade portion is for the skates. Now I have to get a little bit creative right here and just angle my placement tape a little bit differently, but that will keep it covered. So what I'm going to do is, let's see here. I have blue. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. We may go ahead and just do buffalo check in white. Let's do white and see what happens. So I have my mini buffalo check. It is cut up in different sections. I have it cut up in different sections. It's normally an 18 by 18 transfer. However, you can cut these up and you can utilize them. So in order for us to make a buffalo check skate, we're going to lay our buffalo check down. Now, I will tell you, I'm very picky and OCD when it comes to making sure that my buffalo check is going the right direction. The chalk should not come up with the placement tape. So I'm going to be chalking here first and not chalking the other skate, because if you look at it, it's just going different directions. So I am really, really super careful with where I chalk. So I'm only going to chalk this one little bitty area first. Again, so we put our buffalo check down first. Let me get this where it's hugging onto something. Buffalo check went first, and now we're going to put our transfer down. You don't really have to worry about it sticking around other places, but you do need it to stick right here. So I think it needs a little bit of love and stickiness, but we're going to try to work with this. So we're going to use our bright white. Hopefully it's not pulling up. It does not feel sticky at the moment, like I need to wash my transfer a bit. But we're going to roll with it because we already started, but we may wash our transfer in just a second. So we are just squeegeeing on, squeegeeing off. Remember down here at the bottom, it doesn't really matter if I got chalk paste over the other part because we have that placement tape down. Let's see what happens with this. So we have that one. We have this one, and there is one of our ice skates. So let me dry that really quick. So the placement tape is just your good buffer, providing that buffer there. And it does not pull up. Right here in this little bitty area, I'll hold it up in just a second so you can see it. We should have had a little piece of placement tape, but we can fix that. So right here, right there, we didn't need any buffalo check, but it's okay. I can take the end of a paintbrush that's a little bit smaller, and all I have to do is knock off that placement, or excuse me, that white chalk paste that I don't want there, and it is perfectly fine. So there is that knocked off. So let me see about Thanks so much. Let me see about this transfer because I think it needs just a tiny bit of love so we can get done with our last little bitty piece. I'm going to move this buffalo check over to the side. Let me just spray the back of this really fast. Sometimes when you chalk and you chalk and you chalk and you pulled and pulled, you have to kind of clean your transfer. But these colors for me are just super stellar cute. They were just remind me of so much. I'm a very vintagey person. Love all the old school stuff. Stuff that you can't get anymore. They don't make it like they used to. But I love vintage ice skates. I actually own several. One of my favorite ones is a robin egg blue color ice skates. And I put them out with a vintage sled every year for Christmas. So, we are going to get this last little skate done. I am going to hit this with a dryer really quick just to blow off any crazy excess stuff. So here's our little bitty piece. Remember we chalked just a few minutes ago and didn't mean to chalk a few minutes ago on that little bitty piece. We can take this and cover it up just a smidge. It's not mission critical, but it will be covered up enough to help us. So what we're going to do is we are going to rotate, not where we were, but I want to line up this where it's straight with my skate, which is one reason why I did not chalk the whole thing while we were over there. That's just because I'm crazy OCD about this stuff. And I want to make sure it's going in the direction that the skate would be, because the other one's going straight up and down. So why on earth would I chalk something different, right? Let me make sure that that's lined up good. But you can create any type of layer. So if you have like our words, our big, big, big chunky letters that are like part of the welcome post sign, you can totally take your buffalo check, put it between your stuff, and create buffalo check letters. It is so super easy peasy to do. So I am squeegeeing on, squeegeeing off, trying to be a little bit extra careful around that little bitty area we were just in, because I don't need to re-chalk that one. And we're going to give this a pull. Should create enough different look though, so we get that buffalo check. That is so cute. This is one of my favorite transfers from last year, guys. I hate that it's gone, but we have so much cute stuff that is coming out next week and coming back that I cannot be sad about it. But we had to have something fun to chalk, right? So there is our placement tape. Super, super easy. Does not remove any of your chalk paste on your board as long as you're drying. You have to make sure you're dried before you put that before you put it down. So there is our cute little ice skates transfer. Super adorable, super cute. Guys, it is gone, but we have so many things that are coming out this next week, July the 15th. If you have not had a chance to look, you can look on my page here. I've posted a video, and these buffalo check, it just gives it another dimension. It gives it some kind of texture, if you will. And you can't, I know you can't feel the texture through the camera, but I feel like you can see it, and it just makes a huge, huge difference, but brings all these things together in just that vintage look that we are after with this cute, cute old school transfer. So I hope y'all are having a great weekend. I am going to go get some more learning done in just a matter of an hour. I'm going to go grab some lunch, but y'all have an amazing weekend. If you're not a member of my VIP page and you're not a current designer, you are welcome over there. Just comment VIP whether you're watching this live or on a replay, and I would love to have you. We're having Christmas in July over there right now with lots of specials and giveaways and tons of fun things that I can't do here on the public page. But I hope y'all have an amazing start to your weekend. Happy Saturday, my friends. Stay safe and enjoy. See you later.